Okay, here's the video on how to access our curriculum on Lifeway. So I have the page marked. It's actually called My Curriculum Manager. And you'll have to set up your email and your password. And I keep mine in there. So I sign in. Then you're going to see an NA and a Pipeline Church. So we want to go to Pipeline Church. And you'll see Pipeline Kids Summer 2017. And we're done with Pipeline Kids Spring 2017, so I'll probably delete that soon. So you would click on your Pipeline Kids Summer 2017. And then you will see off to the side here the dates and the lessons. So if I wanted to scroll down to, if I wanted to scroll down or up, you just hit these arrows. So our next lesson, as of this video, is July 2nd. And it's Unit 10, Session 2, God Rejected Saul as King. So you just click on that. And now here we are. We're on July 2nd, 2017. Now all these green boxes, don't worry about that stuff because that's all stuff that I download for our Pro Presenter, which is all of our slides and stuff. So you just want to keep scrolling down. You're going to see Unit 10 support materials, and then you're going to see Session 2, God Rejected Saul as King. Then you're going to just hit expand. Keep scrolling down, and it's going to give you all kinds of options. We want our leader guide. And you're going to see right here, God Rejected Saul as King, Older Kids Leader Guide, in a PFD form and an RTF form. Well, I always use the PFD form. But before I click on that, if you keep scrolling down, you're going to see God Rejected Saul as King, Younger Kids Leader Guide in the RTF. And Younger Kids Leader Guide in the PFD. And you're going to keep scrolling down, and there's going to be the Bible story video. There's the discussion starter video. And if you keep going, you'll even find a Babies and Toddlers Leader Guide. And you'll see a Preschool Leader Guide. So we have access to all this. But for the most part, I do use the Older Kids Leader Guide. Sometimes when I'm going through the lesson and I don't like the games or the activities, I'll check out the Younger Kids Leader Guide. So we're going to click on, it says right click to download. For some reason mine always downloads, so I'm just going to click on it. It's going to send it to my download. And it opens it up. So here we are. There's all my pages on the side. This is the lesson that I use. When you scroll through it, it's going to give you just an introduction of the lesson. It's going to actually give you the Bible story that you could even read, but we always use the video. If you wanted to read it, go for it. And then we go to small groups opening, and that's when your welcome time when kids arrive. You can do a activity sheet, which you would need to print out, and that's something that you would just have to let me know, and I would totally do it for you. And then they have session starter games. So you have a cause and effect game, and you have not a good fit. So they always give you a couple options. Just so you know, these starter games I sometimes use at the end of the session. So, or during our small groups, I should say. Okay, after that, then it says large group leader. And that's when we come back from worship and we start into our lesson. And it shows the countdown video, which you guys see that I use, and an introduction to the lesson. So on Unit 10, I've been coming in wearing my crown and having the scroll. So that's just kind of your introduction, and it tells you exactly what you need to say. And then it goes to the lesson, your giant timeline, which is kind of like our review. And then always our big picture question. And then it tells the Bible story, or you could show the video, which we do. And then after that, it shows you, gives you like a discussion format. And usually it's the questions where I sit down and I say, hey, have you been a good listener? And I ask them the questions. And then there's always gives us this gospel, the gospel plan, God's plan for me. And that's, I've never used this because they actually don't have, it says on the side, a tip to provide I'm a new Christian, and they actually don't have that available. So I skip that part. And then we go on to our key passage, which is our memory verse, and then into our discussion video, which I download for ProPresenter, and then singing when we sing our song, and then prayer like we usually do, and then breaking up into small groups. And here's the gospel, God's plan for me. And this is something that I want to dive into deeper that we can go over. And then you keep scrolling down, and then we're back to small group again. And these are the activities that we want to do when we split up into our small groups. There's a key passage activity. I usually don't do that because we cover it as a group and we don't have a lot of time. And then we get into different things you can do. And here's the Bible story review game that you can play. And if you keep scrolling, then it gives you more activity choices. So option 1 is a step-by-step drawing, which I'm doing this next week. And option 2 is tricky tasks games. And then again, at the end, they give you a time for journal and prayer. So if you'll notice, you can go back and look at past lessons. This is all stuff that I use in each lesson. So there's a lot of options that you can use. And so what I would love for you to do is if you guys could just get on there and just start making yourself familiar. So hopefully you can access it anytime you want, and you can help me start planning some lessons. So hope that helped.